Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Today we have a special guest, Mynor Ramos. He's gonna be sharing a little bit about him, his company, and what it is he does. Again, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Caleb. Yeah, Mynor Ramos, basically over 20 years of mortgage banking experience. So I'm a fanatical about financial structures and all the stuff that people don't know about that they need to know about. So that's been my work experience. My specialty is asset legacy planning, which is to say that I work with people to be prepared for the worst. We're talking about hospitalizations and funerals. That's not the place to prepare yourself for the unexpected, really. And so that part of what I do is really special to me, and obviously it's important to you as well in your practice, Caleb.
Excellent. And so, what would you say is the primary, I guess, focal point for your business? How is it that you're getting out there and helping people with this?
So, the YouTube channel, along with speaking engagements, have been really the what gets me in front of people. I know that there is a hesitation, to talk about legacy planning. So we want to make it as conversational as possible. We want to take all the myths away and remove them completely, get rid of them, because here's the way to do it. Either you do it or you avoid it. And there's nothing in between, right? And we want to be able to make sure that this stuff gets taken care of. Nothing more aggravating to a family member, where there's only chaos left, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to avoid.
No, definitely. And I guess what was, I like to call it your why. I know you like to call it your legacy.
Yeah,
So what is that got you, I would say, where you are today and the reason why you're doing what you're doing?
absolutely. Yeah, that's a really important question, because there's a lot of places that clubs that I've been part of, different things that I've joined, but being a grieving parent is not something that I chose. I do believe that when we face situations like, and I know your audience probably doesn't know my story, but I my family, we lost a 25-year-old college student, and she was a USF sign language interpreter. And at 25 years old, to picture that, you know, that person has their whole life ahead of them. And when people say, well, that'll never happen to me. Well, unfortunately, my story and what we've felt and what we've gone through, the journey that we've gone through, is very real, very personal. So for me, when I talk about legacy planning, it encompasses everything that the individual is and does and who they are, because their legacy is going to live on, whether they were meaningless, or basically the legacy goes away, or their everything that they did just comes to the forefront, right? And everybody begins to shine around it, and their story gets told. So for me, it's a very, very personal thing to make sure that everybody gets this taken care of. One maybe last thing about this is, even though she was an ASL student, she was an entrepreneur. She had a business where she would go, to Disney and provide services for their clients. It's like a 25-year-old. I mean, this is cool. She's a graphic artist, and she created my website. So my website, I won't change it because it was her design. She put it together. And when we talk about legacy, she is the one that helped me start to put this together. We started doing this in 2020. And so for me, it's letting her legacy carry on. And when people, I know you're going to share the link to my YouTube channel, and some people, always wonder. There's a picture in my YouTube channel that you'll see, but basically, it's this. It's a tattoo where she actually designed it. Like, she didn't design the tattoo because she didn't know this was what it's for, right? But she always talked to me about this, and she said, would you ever get a tattoo? I'm like, I don't have a reason to get a tattoo, right? But it's an ambergram. It says to live is Christ, and when you put it the other way, it says to die is gain. And on one side, it's got her earthly birthday, and then on the other side, it's got her heavenly birthday. Now, the other part of that is, I told you she was a graphic artist, right? So every time she did something, she did this. Now, there are some people that are believers and some of them are not. But the reason why I do this is when I'm done telling her story, I just go like this, and people see the cross, and they see the beauty of God in walking us through trauma and really loss. And we don't get over it. I mean, I'm still struggling through it and working through it, even after 13, actually it's 15 months now, right? It's still that raw for us to be able to go through it. So legacy is, it's about the people that we care, the people that we love, and what they mean. And so what I hope is that as we go through our process, we're creating our own legacy. Look, us getting in front of the audience is like, it's scary for a lot of people, but you know what it's doing? It's letting other people know you can do this. You can tell your story. You can get up and let everybody know what you're about. And in doing so, you're doing probably a few things. In my case, I start to heal, or I continue to heal. 2, I change somebody else's life. And 3, I think that more importantly than that is, since I talk about legacy, I call it in matters of posterity for future generations. So even though I am doing this today, I'm really doing it for my children and my grandchildren. And this is the power of YouTube, the power of community, sharing communities, and you'll be on my my community. But Kayla, be careful the next time you ask somebody like me what it means, legacy, because it is, when you're passionate about it and it means a lot to you, you're just never way to stop talking about it. So thank you for asking that question. I hope
Of course.
provided it. Yeah.
Oh, yes, you definitely cover that. And then last thing, if you could tell everybody where you're at, and I guess any of your social information.
Absolutely. So I'm really, everything that I do is virtual, and a lot of the meetings that we end up doing in webinars is all virtual. I am in the state of Tennessee right now. I used to live in Florida. I'm originally from Chicago. So if you want to just cover, kind of cover that triangle, that's where I'm usually, you'll find me in one of those states, right? So Illinois, Florida, Tennessee, and somewhere in between. YouTube channel is Matters of Eternity. And I do have on LinkedIn, I do a segment every Monday, which is called Lattes and Legacies, where I do a segment where I cover a coffee shop of the region, a local coffee shop, so that I could bring awareness on YouTube of that business. Hopefully awareness of, people can kind of like a Google local guide kind of deal. But I combine that with the story of legacy to kind of make the legacy conversations a little bit more relevant and a little bit easier to talk about.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for coming on our, I guess, stream video today. and we look forward to having you back.
Thank you so much, Caleb. I appreciate it.
Thank you
All
guys
right.
for tuning in.
Thanks.